Aren't y'all tired of these clout-chasing, no-chemistry-having, over-the-hill gatekeeping radio podcast hosts who just provide no culturally concise commentary? We actually got something for that.
This is Touchdowns and Tangents, your weekly spot for NFL takes, topical tangents, and context for the culture. So tune in, because you never know if you're going to get a take, a tangent, but either way, it's a touchdown.
What's up, good people? Live from Los Angeles, California. It's Touchdowns and Tangents, your Thursday night spot for NFL takes, topical tangents, and concise commentary for the culture. I'm PD Camarillo. He is
Kenneth Berry.
How's your week been, man?
Reassuring.
What does that mean?
I got some good news from the doctor today as far as my checkup and everything. I'm pretty much off 2 medications now. Don't have to take them anymore.
Great.
The long-term goal is to get me off insulin altogether, which honestly I don't even really use it most of the time. My sugar level's pretty much at 100, and they're like 100 to, as long as it's under 130, technically under 140, you're like, sugar, it's fine. But like mine on average is like 100, and usually between like 92 and like 102 if I'm feeling lazy. But yeah, pretty much everything looks great. Sugar levels, kidneys looking fine. I just got to the next step is just cutting out stuff that has a lot of sodium, starches. So no more lasagna pretty much. Gonna have to really delve deep into some good old veggie stir fry, and probably being in the kitchen with you eating a shit ton of pistachios. So that, and yeah, my sister's coming out here tomorrow. I'm excited. She's never met her nephew before, so for the first time ever, me, my 2 sisters, my nephew, and my mom are gonna sit down and
That's great.
Eat lunch.
That's great. All right, so it was kind of
And my barber comes back in town next week.
It's kind of a weird week this week in the sports world. Obviously, the big news of the week in the NFL world was Aaron Donald calling it quit after 10 seasons, 8 All-Pros, Defensive Rookie of the Year, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, Super Bowl championship, 2 Super Bowl appearances, redefined the 3 technique, showed he could play without, superior length, dominated the Senior Bowl. It's just been uphill ever since.
And if you go back to his high school picture, he really looks like the black kid off Boondocks, who was like just a psychopath. Like if you look at his smile,
Riley?
No, the fat kid. It's the fat black kid in Boondocks. You got to go back and watch it. He's like the biggest bully in the series.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like he flips that switch. Like that's Aaron Donald. Like even in high school, I was like, I would hate blocking that dude in high school, because like they have him as a D tackle, but he came to Pitt and was playing a defensive end at 6 feet, and then becomes all ACC as a defensive end with like 11 sacks, bumps inside the D tackle, another 11 sacks. His college career's that of on the level of Indominus.
I was watching your network this week, and they were talking about they were going back, like looking through the draft coverage, and like a lot of things Mayock said was like on par. But
let's not give Mayock.
One of the things, I mean, Aaron Donald was kind of like a consensus player that everyone aligned with for the most part.
It was either Aaron Donald or Khalil Mack, and people were like, well, he's going to be better than Clowney, but you need like an edge rusher, so you kind of have to take Clowney.
Anyways, so one of the things that what's the white dude? Not the Jonah Hill white dude. The
Daniel
other white dude.
No.
On the Good Morning Show.
Oh,
not Fat Jonah Hill. The other white guy.
It's not Kyle Brandt.
It is Kyle Brandt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Peter Schrager is.
Yeah.
The other guy.
So Kyle.
No more name dropping my network.
He was like, man, there's probably some guard from I forgot what school he said, but it was like some guard from the Senior Bowl right now is watching this and like, why am I on TV right now? And he just works in real estate or whatever, is living his life, and just having clips of Aaron Donald shitting on him in Mobile all over NFL Network all week, pretty much.
It's like, I call it the Von Tez effect, where you just like blankly stare out into the ether, horrified by the trauma you survived, but it came back around. You thought it was over, but it's back, and it's choosing to come back. Like, it's choosing to end your suffering by not beating you up anymore. That's pretty much Aaron Donald. Like, he's probably a really nice guy off the field, but I'm pretty sure if he runs into all the people he ran through, whether it be high school or college, like, there's going to be some trauma there.
Ultimately, I like that he shouted out St. Louis in his retirement message. But, yeah, ultimately, you know, as we talked about before the show, it's like, yeah, he was already kind of going back and forth about it the past couple of years. But obviously, he still had something left in the tank. I mean, Stafford was coming back. McVay was coming back. The team won a playoff game. Like, there was reasons for him to come back. I think ultimately, you know, he said his family's gotten bigger. You know, as you get older, your health becomes a bigger concern. So while I get all that, it's like, that didn't really change. That was always there. For me, I think it ultimately just came down to, you know, money. Like, he probably just looked at the situation and said, well, what do I got left to play for? You know, I don't got another contract. Or he wanted another contract and they weren't going to come to the table. So it's like, it's already held on them twice. Like, just like he said, he's full. It's time. There's no, other than winning a Super Bowl, like, what else did he really have to play for? And I think for the Rams too, I feel like they're kind of in a weird spot where they have those three players at the top of their roster taking up $108 million in cap. They've got a good young nucleus of up and coming players, and they kind of just need to find some players to bridge that gap. They got some cap space. They got some draft picks, which they usually don't have. They have a lot of draft picks. So I think for them, it's like, on one hand, you kind of want to just keep building on what you have. On the other hand, it's like you got to start looking forward. So I don't know. Basically, I just think the Rams are kind of in a weird situation. But they'll still be competitive, especially if they continue to draft well as they have over the last 5 years or so, 10 years.
The interesting part is Kobe Turner had 9.5 sacks. Byron Young, second on the team in sacks. Linebacker, Tennessee, running a 4.4. Amazing production. Plus, that you still have the 19th overall pick.
What I will say, too, about the Rams is what people forget is, remember, when they made that pick, they already have Robert Quinn and Chris Long.
That's part, and
Michael Brockers.
There you go. Literally a whole defensive line, a first-round pick.
So a lot of people didn't think they would take Aaron Donald. And the fact that they did, I think, just shows, one, you want to build through the trenches, and two, like, it's never a bad thing to build on your strengths.
Which, by the way, Robert Quinn's a Hall of Famer, too. People got to put some respect on his name.
I mean, he had like 20 sacks his like second year, right? Something like that.
He owns the record for sacks in the season for the Chicago Bears, and he only played there like 2 years. Like, people, like, I don't know what's this thing where, like, you should be considered a Hall of Famer if you have 100 sacks and up. That's the threshold, pretty much. Kerrigan, not so much. He had like 99.5 or whatever. But, like, Simeon Rice, you could make an argument Hall of Famer. Julius Peppers, obviously Hall of Famer. Clay Matthews, Hall of Famer. I don't think he has 100 sacks, but that's arguable. But there are certain guys like a Robert Quinn, who I think he has like 120, 130. Robert Mathis, guys who proved they were athletic enough to be tweeners. Like, those dudes really embraced the position of having to become a stand-up 3-4 outside linebacker. And they did it gracefully. So, like, a guy like Aaron Donald, who was really a 3 technique, but really played a 5 technique for the Rams because they ran a 3-4. He was pretty much revolutionized what a 5 tech defensive end can do and what a 3-tech can do depending on how you play them, which is insane because when we were in high school, I remember like my high school senior year, we're switching to a 3-4. I'm mad as hell because I'm coming off a shattered foot, knowing I'm going to have to play nose, and also knowing that the most sacks that a defensive end and a 3-4 had was like the Cowboys, which was like Jay Ratliff and it's a dude
Marcus Spears.
No. It was a dude with North Carolina. It was a different guy on their defensive line, but he was like a former first round pick out of North Carolina. It's Greg something. I'll Google it in like 5 minutes, but I think it might have been Greg Ellis. But there wasn't 5 techniques to getting 10 sacks in a season in a 3-4 defense. That was unheard of. Aaron Donald had like 20 sacks one year, 16, 18. Like he made it look easy. He made a position that's not supposed to be like you're not supposed to be getting a bunch of sacks. It's the 5 technique and a 3-4. Like you're playing defensive end to eat up 2 blocks, pretty much.
I was explaining to my Rams friends, and they were roasting me. They're like, "Why are you sad?" I'm like, "Dog, this is like Kobe.
This is our LT.
This is like Kobe, bro. Like I literally have watched this man since 2014. Like I remember being in the Sundial newsroom watching the Senior Bowl doing mock drafts, bro, of Aaron Donald and company. And now here we are. He's retiring, and he's one of the greatest players, period, I've ever seen do it. I've seen him in real life. I've been in the same rooms as him, like, and he's retired. And, like, I've watched videos, tutorials of him to help me as a coach, to teach technique. Like, I've watched him on social media. I've watched him do workouts that are just, like, you know, exceptional. Like, everything he does is just so exceptional. Like, he's just a true technician in the truest form. Like, he's just amazing. Like, and just the fact that I'm not going to be able to see him on Sundays ever again, it's just, like, it's sad. Like, I mean, obviously, like, it's his talent. It's his life. Like, I get it. But, like, for me as a fan, as a fan of the game, a constant learner of the game, like, it's sad, you know, to see him move on to the next part of his life.
And honestly, yeah, I mean, Khalil Mack was in that draft. Jadeveon Clowney was in that draft. That was that's going to go down as one of the greatest drafts ever, too.
For sure.
And ironically, when you think about it,
Odell.
Yeah. No, that was the next year. I was thinking of Benjamin and all them. But nah, like, let's think about this.
No, I think Kelvin Benjamin was on that one.
That was the Mike Evans draft, too?
2014?
2014? Shit.
Yeah, remember? Because there was like 5 receivers that had 1,000 yards that year.
Brandon Cooks was in that draft, I think.
Yeah, Brandon Cooks was in that
Holy
draft.
shit, that's one of the greatest drafts ever. They're going to get punished by time, though. It's like the same draft Reggie Wayne was in. People forget he was the 30th overall pick, but whatever. When I think about...
Just didn't have quarterbacks, but...
Yeah, when you really think about the
Shout out Teddy
time...
B.
The time that he came into the league, bro, we watched Luke Kuechly retire. We watched Patrick Willis retire. This was kind of up there, but like I was expecting it, but like it's still kind of shocking to realize he had 111 sacks in 10 years.
Fuck, and that's the thing we forget.
11 years, in 10 or 11 years.
I totally forgot that they were talking about that on NFL Network too.
For D tackle.
Remember, that was the Rams' second pick in that draft. Who was the first pick they took? You know this. You know this.
I do.
It's buried somewhere in that head of yours.
It's buried deep in the graveyard of that draft.
Anthony Barr was in that draft. Taylor Lewan.
God damn.
Kyle Fuller. Ryan Shazier. Zach Martin. Zach Martin was at the Senior Bowl giving Aaron Donald work. Aaron Donald was giving him work.
Dude, that's... Okay,
Brandon Cooks never been a Pro Bowler? That's fucking wild.
Yeah, that's why it's so disrespectful.
He's never been a Pro Bowler?
It's disrespectful how he gets treated, right?
Jeez. He had a 1,000-yard streak up until 2 years ago.
Up until teams kept trading him and fucked him up. He was on the same trajectory that Mike Evans was on.
D4, Jason Verrett.
Bro, okay. So
Jason Verrett been a Pro Bowler and not Brandon Cooks. That's fucking wild.
Because he had one great year and then kept blowing his knee out. That's why I don't trust TCU prospects.
Your guy, Marquise Lee.
Shout out to Marquise Lee.
Jordan Matthews had 1,000-yard reception that first year.
And now he's a tight end.
Tay Adams.
He's a tight end on the Panthers. You know that, right?
I had no idea.
He's a tight end on the Carolina
I had
Panthers.
no idea.
He's still in the league. He transformed his body to become a tight end, which is crazy.
Carlos Hyde.
Carlos Hyde been gone.
I know.
Damn, that's crazy though. Like
Allen Robinson, Jarvis Landry.
Because that was the Clowney draft. So Clowney went first.
Your guy
Rams picked at 13.
Martin.
The Rams picked at 13, which means they probably took.
I don't know if you heard that, but I'll say it again. Your guy Marcus Martin.
Well, he was at Lawndale High for like 5 minutes, and he transferred to Crenshaw, and then the rest of his life took off.
Trey Turner,
former All-Pro, was on the Chargers, was on the Panthers.
Devontae Freeman.
It's crazy.
But yeah, so do you know who the number 2 pick was? Telvin Smith.
I wish Telvin Smith would have came back to the league.
Corey Linsley.
Okay, so Clowney was the first overall pick. And the second overall pick.
You're going to feel dumb for not knowing this. Charles Leno. Because you know it. Like, you literally know this. I know for a fact you know this.
And it's not a Baylor player. It's definitely not Jason Smith. I know that. Give me a second. It's going to come to me. It's not a quarterback either. Because Goff was first overall.
Just think about the Rams at that time. What had they?
It's not. It's no way it's Tavon Austin.
What had they habitually drafted in the first round and just continuously failed at?
It was tackle.
Mm-hmm.
It was offensive tackle.
Who was the number 1 tackle in that draft? Consensus can't miss offensive lineman in that draft to go. It wasn't Luke
Jokel. It wasn't Luke Jokel, and it definitely
that was the year before.
And it wasn't Jason Smith out of Baylor.
That was the year before.
So it was neither of those guys. It was the Auburn tackle.
Yeah, get him warm.
Fuck, because that's
Greg Robinson.
There we go.
Yeah, Greg Robinson.
The name was there because I was thinking of the running back he blocked for, which was that famous rapper's son, who ended up, I think, in a mental facility. Kind of feel bad for him now. Yeah, Greg Robinson, athletic, he was like a hyper athletic Alex Leatherwood, which is crazy. They had the greatest draft and the worst draft ever.
That was crazy, huh?
Greg Robinson's a bigger bust.
He was out the league in like 5 years. He was with Cleveland in like 3 years.
Oh, he's definitely not a bigger bust. Jason Smith was probably one of the biggest busts of all time. Out of Baylor. Went number 2 overall. That boy was garbage.
All right. So, yeah, final thoughts on Aaron Donald's retirement.
QB's going to start showing their ass next year. Kyler Murray going to get off. He might break a 50-yard run now. Just to let people know, I got 4.3 speed, buddy. And Donald can't save you anymore, LA Rams.
Other news from the week, March Madness obviously going on. Everyone's brackets fucked up already.
Indiana State got screwed.
Oakland upset Kentucky.
Shout out to Detroit. People
really upset Kentucky.
Calipari's done.
Oakland upset Kentucky.
Yeah, in Detroit.
Grambling won.
Grambling State won.
Yeah.
Get it right. My mom went there. And Detroit. Oakland University, which is in Detroit, because yes, there's an Oakland University.
Oh, I thought it was one in Oakland.
No. There's no.
There is.
Everybody assumes that
there is one in there.
There's a Laney, but there's not an Oakland.
There is an Oakland.
There's not an Oakland University in Oakland.
I bet you.
Bet it's not though.
Okay.
You think of Weber State.
Okay.
It's not an Oakland University. I mean, there's an Oakland Tech.
Yeah, that's what I was.
But that's the high school. That's where Marshawn went. There's Laney College, which is a JUCO, but there's no Oakland University, which is all the talent that's packed in the Bay. But yeah, people didn't know that. And also, Oakland and Detroit are connected through the civil rights era. Oakland and Detroit have very rich history, but you can't trust everybody from Detroit, respectfully. Detroiters will tell you that.
There is a University of California, Oakland.
Spay don't count.
It's a private. No, it's called the University of California in Oakland.
Ugh. Is it like fucking Scripps College, the sister college thing? Because that shouldn't count. They just changed. They closed Occidental and just gave it another name. That's nasty work. I'm gonna get a degree from their watch.
Oh, I guess it's not there anymore.
Oh, see, there you go. Yeah, they beat Calipari Detroit. Salute to them. I think Gonzaga did the same thing last year or a couple years ago. Not Gonzaga, but St. Peter's? Yeah, St. Peter's did it last year, I think. I forget they beat. But yeah, Kentucky just going to put out NBA prospects casually but keep getting bounced out. Can we be real? Calipari did something that changed the face of the NBA. His backups, cats who couldn't get play time, are $100 million NBA players. Devin Booker, just to name one. Eric Bledsoe, $100 million player, $100 million contract guy. There's at least 10 $100 million. Like, you just go back and look at some of those teams, especially when they won the title with a true freshman squad with Cousins and David. Like, bro, that is insane. That is, like, people don't really realize that might be the greatest feat, like, in college basketball history, what Calipari did. And he's really just been living off that ever since. He's like, I gave you 12 NBA All-Stars on one team. I gave you Jamal Murray. Like, what else do you want from me? Like, honestly, the only thing that rivals what Kentucky did is Duke, and that's only because Kyrie went to Duke. That's really the only reason Duke would even be there, because Kyrie went there. And even then, he only played like 10 games. So I'm not even really counting Kyrie at Duke.
Duquesne beat BYU. I don't even know what that school is. Long Beach State got Pappy.
But the fact that they fired their coach and his I screenshotted it to you. The fucking head coaching job for Long Beach State was on Indeed last week.
Wow.
It was on Indeed, bro. It's in my email.
Wow, and he made his first tournament in like 20 years?
He was there 17 years. And on top of that, he got fired and still chose to coach.
Yeah, I would probably do that if I'm still getting paid.
Why is that kind of tricky? But yeah,
not really. Not if your contract is up.
I mean, you got to pay me a little bit extra, especially if you're Long Beach State. But Long Beach State, like, bro, and the worst is they had the job title and they had the salary. It was only like $120K a year. Bro, you embarrassed yourself and that man on his way out. Why would you do that? He acted with class and grace. I wonder if they didn't even take the job posting down. That's the fucking part. At least take it down while he's coaching, bro. Come on.
And then the last thing we kind of got to talk about this week, the whole Ohtani situation. So I haven't really read into this, but allegedly Ohtani's interpreter was fired. He was stealing $4 to $5 million from Ohtani to pay his gambling debt. I guess there's connections between the interpreter and some known gambling shark. Yeah, I don't know. You got anything else you want to add on that?
All these athletes are gambling, bro. Let's just keep it a bean. He just got caught. And he's only making what, like $2 million a year?
Wasn't that part of his contract to keep that interpreter too? Like, wasn't that a whole stipulation?
But now it's a breach, and now dude's not even going to get paid. Think about it. He signed a $500 million contract and deferred it, and now you're not getting anything.
Dang, so he was wiring money straight from Ohtani's bank account to the bookmaker.
I mean, technically, shit, if you sign a $500 million contract and tell me you only going to make $2 million a year, so my downside, wait, how much am I getting? I'm getting fucking peasant pennies, and you signed a $500 million deal?
Well,
yeah.
He's only making $2 million a year right now. Remember?
So I said $500K. Imagine he's only getting $500K from him. Plus, he's avoiding California state tax, right?
Something like that. But they're probably going to change that before his contract is out.
I mean, it's already ironclad. Now they're just going to make sure nobody else can do it.
Something like that.
It's like, damn. Like, that's... I could see how his interpreter was probably mad as fuck. Like, are you serious, bro? You got generational wealth, and then you just got married, $500K, and I'm only... Like, you got $500 million, and I'm not going to get a tenth of 1% of what the fuck you're getting. Fam, he could have retired off being paid as an interpreter for Ohtani. He could have paid. I don't know how you messed that up, bro. I would just look at my bookie, be like, dog, I'm gonna make more money over the deal of this contract with him than I ever owed you. Just accept these monthly payments and shut up. I'll pay you fucking $50,000 a year for like the next $50,000 a month. I don't fucking know, for like the next 2 years. He could have been in that much debt. Let's just do 50 million times 12. 50,000 times 12. Do that for another 2 to 5 years, you'll be in the clear. If he wasn't making
Dude said he didn't know it was illegal, and then Ohtani never bet. Ohtani just pretty much paid it off to make sure that he never did it again.
Damn, look out for you. I ain't gonna talk to nobody now.
He's been interpreting with him since 2018.
Oh, and fuck it then.
When he came in the league, basically just follows him all around everywhere he goes.
Damn. To see somebody you fucked up a bag on a global level, bro. You can't go back to your own people. You can't go back to your own country, bro. They're gonna be like, "How did you fumble that?"
He said he didn't bet on baseball. He knows that that's a rule.
Account must out his prize pick history. If you could just find out what he was betting on, he probably bet on T. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, so pretty much he fucked up a bag on a global level.
On a global level, they're gonna have classes on how stupid you are. You're gonna be an answer on a fucking communications test or financial literacy test in a business ethics class at a state school somewhere. Guess that was a shot at my alma mater and other alma maters.
College football time.
No, I'm just kidding. All right, so I was at USC's Pro Day. Cool. It's going to be coming out tomorrow. Pretty much 10 things to look forward to now that USC's Pro Day is over. Let's just get everything out of the way. Caleb Williams is exactly who he's shown to be. Like, and shout out to homie Nick Hamilton. He asked a really great question. Pretty much about how did it feel to be able to control his own narrative throughout the entire draft process. He's like, it's good. It's good to know. Like, he said, Caleb admitted, like, there's been some lies out there about him. He's like, and if I didn't control my own narrative, imagine how worse things could have been. So, it's good for him. I didn't even really watch him throw a lot because it's like, I watched him throw for the past 2 years, bro. I've seen him make throws like between him and Michael Penix that's just ungodly. Like, I've seen him make throws that Mahomes wouldn't even attempt. And I think he has better arm talent than Mahomes. He was definitely more accurate than Mahomes coming out of college. But, like,
I'd say accurate, but I don't know if he has that Mahomes arm strength.
It's close.
Yeah, it's close.
It's more than Lamar. It's almost on par with Herbert. It could arguably almost be on par with Herbert. It probably is on par with Herbert. But, like, yeah, so hits in his regard. Keenan Allen was there. Saw Raider scout there. He came out and did his thing. It wasn't raining like it was last year. It was pouring down raining last year. Thule didn't run. There were some guys There's some guys who ran. It was about 22 guys out there, which is kind of shocking. I was surprised at how many people were out. But, yeah, so I'm going to get to the audio. First I'm going to play is a center, Justin Diedick. He also was like a guard most of his career, but switched to center. So, yeah. You see, this is connected. Can you see you kind of just strictly center or, combo guard?
I think it's interior, but, yeah, mostly center. But, I mean, I'm open to playing guard, too. Just kind of playing the interior line. We'll see what happens when I get to a team. But, yeah, I think mostly center.
All right. I'll get to everybody's 40s at the end of it. But, yeah, so Cam Bullock, he ran a 4.48 at the combine. Pretty much every team asked him about playing corner because he's clearly a safety, but he can play corner. He's proven it. And I was surprised he was out there doing field drills because I didn't think he needed to do anything else. Like, he could have just sat on his 40 and everything, but he did. They did some other stuff. But he's a Pasadena native. He will not be attending the draft. He's going to stay at home and party with his family. Last year, you talked about getting stronger, how you hit the weights. How did teams, kind of address that? How did they like it? You putting on more weight from last year to now.
Teams love it. Of course, they want to see me develop and keep putting on weight. They know I'm a young dude. So that's going to come with it. As long as I'm being in there, I'm putting in the work, putting in the extra time to put the weight on, lifting weights, getting stronger. So it's been good.
Are you planning if you get an invite to the draft, are you going to go, or are you planning on throwing a party in Dana?
Plan to stay home with my family. I want to enjoy it. They've been there since I was little. They know how important it is. It's a dream come true. So I want to be there around all my family and just by there, just celebrating me, and it's just all love at home.
One more for Kalen.
How's it feel knowing you left USC better than you found it, the football team?
Say it again, sorry.
How's it feel knowing you left the team better than when you came in?
It feels good. I've been here through the ups and downs. I seen we was my freshman year. We was down bad. People talked about us, and the guys in this building, the guys who's coming in every single day, putting in the work. We knew that we knew that wasn't us. What we put on film, and so leaving here and leaving it in a better place, it feels good because now the young dudes who's behind us, they see how to do it. Now they're going to pick it up and they're going to just continue with the chosen spirit.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Marshawn Lloyd, running back, ran a 4.46. Goes by the name Baby Saquon. He doesn't go by that. Everybody at USC called him that because he did outrageous things in the weight room. Had a great combine, athletic testing wise. He got out there and he was running a lot of routes, and looked pretty comfortable. Trojans have really about, I'd say, outside of Caleb, there's about 4 guys who are definitely not making it past like the 4th or 5th round, I would say. So yeah, here's what he said. Senior Bowl till now, how do you feel like you've improved on parts of your game that scouts probably wanted to see more of?
Really good, especially just coming out here being able to catch the ball, run up in slot, run receiver routes, something that I really worked on throughout this process, and it really helped out a lot.
Lastly, Taj Washington. Play it. Taj, what's the best part about, you played the All-Star game in Texas, win the bowl game? How does it feel to kind of have all that going into preparing for the NFL?
I feel like it's a great opportunity, that I had and took advantage of. Just consistently putting stuff on tape, going down in the Shrine game, having a great week there, being able to confirm some of the stuff that I've already shown on tape and let guys see me, in person and see what it is.
You satisfied with the 40?
Oh yeah, I'll take it.
What did Taj run?
Taj ran a 4.52.
Ugh.
Hey man, it's good enough. Rice ran a 4.5 flat.
Is it though?
Yeah, for him, 4.52. You take that game speed. He's faster in games. He's quicker than he is fast.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
No, 4.52 is fine for his.
Fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's not
he ran any
good.
slower, I'd have been worried. Like that. If he ran any slower, it would have been a problem. But when you look at you look at pretty much how everything broke down, I'm going to pull up. I actually predicted a lot of their 40s because I'm like just because my mom, her running track.
You said he was gonna run like a 4.48, 4.45.
That's 4.48 and 4.52. There's really not much of a difference other than how you get jammed up
on the
line.
USC track. That is a huge difference.
Nah, that's just true speed.
The 30.5-yard dash, that's a huge difference.
That's disrespectful. It wasn't 38 yards. You got to stop being disrespectful. I just need you to stop.
You said so yourself.
By the way,
USC
Shane Lee
Pro Day
surprised me
times
by
are
running a
always fast.
4.69. Shane Lee looks like Farouk's son when he decides to give up football and like become a wrestler in WWE to extend the bloodline storyline. Because Shane Lee looks fucking dieseled. It's ridiculous. He's going to be a great XFL player or USFX, whatever it's called now. He'll probably be an edge rusher because he can't cover. So, like, 4.69, went to Batman USC. Let that boy just blitz every play. Like, it would be really interesting to see what he does. Austin Jones ran a 4.58. Kind of what I expected, but he plays faster than that. 36.5-inch vertical. Diedick ran a 5.38, 32 bench press reps, 30-inch vertical, 4.7 in the shuttle, 7.7 cone, 8.7 broad. I don't think people realize these offensive linemen who run 5.3s, 5.4s, but then jump like 30 inches. I don't think people realize if you have a 30-inch vertical, you can dunk a basketball in the NBA. Like, and they're 300 pounds. They're 330-pound men with like 38-inch verticals and shit. So Bo Leamer, the tackle the center from Arkansas who got done up by Tavondre Sweat, who's also a behemoth of a human being, this dude had 39 bench press reps at the combine, right? Guess what his vertical was?
What?
Like 37 inches.
Wow. That's crazy.
The fuck? I tell you, big men are the most athletic people on earth. I will go to my grave saying that offensive linemen are more athletic than any DB you can think of. Tyron Smith is more athletic than Deion. Want to know why? Because when you're that fucking big, you're not supposed to move that fast. You're not supposed to have quick twitch that is on par. You're not supposed to have like Aaron Donald, you're not supposed to have a 10-yard split that's better than most corners. Okay? If you're rail thin, you don't lift a lot of weights, and you're fast and can jump high, yeah, that's how physics works. You're supposed to be fast, especially if you've had God-given speed. But when you can like literally bench press the fucking 16th chapel, and you're 300 pounds, and you run a sub 4.8, yeah, that's insane. Like the Oklahoma tackle, Guyton, 6'8", running a sub 5, Joe Alt running a sub 5, like. Even Diedick, like that's a great 32 bench press reps, a 30-inch vertical, and a 5.38 40. I'd kill for that right now. Keon Bars, the D tackle. I feel bad for him. He really got a raw deal this year at SC. Really didn't get a lot of play time. Transfer from Arizona. I don't think he got nowhere near enough play time. I think their run defense would have been better with him out there. But hey, whatever. He has a 79.25-inch wingspan, 33-inch arms. A 5.15 40. Buddy was moving. 28 bench press reps, 28.5-inch vertical, 4.75 shuttle, 4.69 cone drill, 8-foot 11-inch broad jump. Yeah, like you some great times. Jared Kingston had 36 bench press reps. Solomon Byrd ran a 5.02. 18 bench press reps. Yeah. Not enough to get drafted. 6'3", 250, and he ran a 5 flat. Yeah. But
all right, let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
USC Pro Day. Final thoughts.
Oh, Christian Roller Wallace ran a 4.64. Had a 34.5-inch vertical. Max Williams ran a 4.63. I'm a 4.4 guy. We're like, all right. Game speed wise, he's a 4.4 guy. But big, strong, fast, 6'2", was catching everything. There was a great throw that Caleb made. It almost was like, this could be incomplete. But let it hang on. He threw it to the sideline. You didn't think Taj was going to make it there in time. Catches it smoothly. Like, Taj has great hands. Like, I think Taj is a better prospect as far as production-wise. He'll be more productive. He can return punts and kicks and all that. I mean, Brendan Rice kind of did that at Colorado. But he's more of an X receiver now at this stage of his career. But people are gonna fall in love with the size and the speed, and it helps when you're Jerry Rice's son. And you had 12 touchdowns last year.
All right, other stuff, college football. You want to talk about?
Yeah. Get my phone. So Notre Dame quickly found an agreement in regards to the college football playoff. The conferences, Notre Dame, they inked the deal. ESPN's going to pretty much be the college football playoff home through 2031. It's a $7.8 billion deal. And mind you, for the NIL, these schools aren't paying the players out of the school's money. They're getting NIL deals from brands. So when people say, oh, it's a $7 billion deal, and the players are getting none of that. Just want you to know that. Players are getting none of this money. They're getting none of this contract money. So I don't want to hear shit about somebody having a $5 million NIL evaluation. Get all the money you can. Don't apologize for anything. Because and can never play again. Nobody's gonna be offering you that much money to work ever again. Unless you become like a Wall Street banker. So, kids, get your money. Fuck with these crusty ass adults, and Nick Saban's hypocritical ass is saying, how you make a whole legacy off free labor from children, young adults, and your wife gonna have the nerve to say some shit that Nick Saban's wife said, like, ma'am, do you complain at the house that the school pays for, the fact that he's the highest paid employee in the state, and he's retired now, and he's still the highest paid employee in the state? Were you complaining back then? Were you complaining when Julio was scoring touchdowns and the re-up and all the stuff that Nick Saban had built into his contract? Were you crying and complaining about the kids back then? I'm pretty sure if Julio could have got paid, he would have got paid in college. So let's just end that there. Clemson is joining Florida State and suing the ACC, and they definitely want an exit out. And I could see them honestly, I could see them going to the SEC, but really they should go to the Big 12. It would shift the balance of power. Clemson and FSU in the Big 12 would change things on levels that are just like, it would pretty much make it a 3-team conference. Like, hey, if you're not in the ACC would eventually go the way of the Pac-12 damn near. But yeah, that's it's college football news. Oh yeah. Ohio State, Texas had their pro day. Ohio State had their pro day. Quinn Ewers was throwing at Texas's pro day, and I just want to point out this man couldn't get 2 receivers who ran sub 4.340s the ball. I just want to point that out. 2 potential first-round picks. Quinn Ewers. And you had Javonte Sanders. And also Jonathan Brooks, the Texas running back who tore his ACL. And the Cowboys did all his medical treatment. They did his treatment on his ACL. He's pretty much going to be ready by camp. He was considered a first-round draft pick before he tore his ACL. So it'll be interesting to see who takes him, how far he falls. Because he's a starting running back. He has all the tools.
All right, so the Cowboys released Michael Gallup. They also released Leighton Vander Esch, who retired shortly after. So touchdown or turnover, the Cowboys making moves, and also just any short words you want to say for Vander Esch.
Definitely a touchdown. I think they should retire 38. First off at Boise State. He made that ugly-ass number look cool. You're like, who is this dude making all these tackles for Boise? He's named Vander Esch. 6-man football. His family has like RVs every game. It's crazy. Ran like a 4.6 at the combine. Ran a great 40 time. People were kind of like, the last time Boise State linebacker went in the first round, it was Shea McClellan, and it didn't go that well. But that's because Chicago had him playing out of position. And then you had Kamala Correa for the Ravens. Some hit or misses, but this dude was a hit. Probably the best Boise State defender to ever come out, other than Kyle Wilson. Definitely better than Kyle Wilson. But he had the whole degenerative neck thing, spinal stenosis. It was a ticking time bomb, and then other injuries happened. It's kind of like him and Shane Lee right after. He replaced Shane Lee only to kind of go out the same way. It's kind of sad. Him and Jalen.
Sean Lee?
Sean Lee, my bad.
Well, I just think it's crazy because
him and Jalen Smith.
Like 7 years ago, we were looking at him and Jalen Smith as like the best linebacking duo, like the future of the league, and
one had a complete knee replacement, and the other had a neck that was a ticking time bomb. And now Jalen Smith is moving around the league. But it's crazy to think that, that's it. Now you got Parsons, and they're trying to designate him as a linebacker so they don't have to pay him full price. Because if I was him, I wouldn't even step foot in this facility until I get a new contract.
All right, so the Steelers traded for Justin Fields for a 5th rounder,
6th rounder,
touchdown or turnover, 6th rounder.
It'll become a 4th rounder if he ends up playing more. I think that's the perfect situation for him, coach wise, under the tutelage, because I think that Russ is really just a 1-year deal to salvage the offense and the team, and then Fields is like his bargaining chip. Like, hey, okay, we won. It's crazy to think Mike Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game in a long-ass time. Like, the last time the Steelers won, like, the Browns have won a playoff game before the Steelers and the Texans. The Browns won 2 playoff games damn near. That's kind of wild to think about. Yeah, when it comes down to it, just kind of is what it is. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think Russell Wilson tweeted, "Let's go," when Justin Fields was traded. I think it's interesting because, what if Fields does ultimately win the position over Wilson? Like, what if he's legitimately better in camp? Like,
you trade
do you
Wilson.
think Tomlin would start him week 1? Because I feel like
you have to almost.
For as great of a coach as Tomlin was, I feel like he kind of just
got by with
dilly-dallied with the whole Kenny Pickett situation. First when he started him, then when he kind of benched him, and then kind of said he didn't bench him. So it's like, is he gonna have the decisiveness in this situation? Because it's like, I could see a situation where either of these guys comes out looking great in camp, depending on how they want to run their offense, depending on how fast they build up chemistry with the receivers. And overall, that offense was really just held back by the quarterback. So it's like, it's an important decision.
They need tackles. That offensive line is terrible.
Did they just draft one?
They need another one. That offensive line is terrible. It is god awful. They having problems at center. They need guard help. They should probably go side Dalton Risner. But Bakhtiari's going to make money probably coming in as a spot starter for the Steelers. I can just see it now. Like, the Steelers, if you have Fields and you have Najee Harris, George Pickens, Freiermuth, you trade Deontay Johnson, but you still got Calvin Austin III, and then I think they got one more receiver who's nice.
Najee's kind of washed.
Najee's not washed.
He's kind of washed, bro.
He's washed because that line is trash.
Okay.
He looked like Todd Gurley at the end with the Falcons.
Okay.
Don't be slandering Bay Area legends, bro. Don't slander Antioch legends.
The Rams signed Jimmy G. Touchdown or turnover.
Turnover. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. Why would you even? I mean, there's gonna be way more porn stars at Rams games now. But like, why would you waste $4 million of the cap? Why would you waste $4.5 million on Jimmy G? He can't play. He sucks. Like, you'd be better off drafting a young QB. I'd rather bring Carson Wentz back.
Yeah, I would have rather have done that.
Because at least you know Carson Wentz is in no danger.
Or Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold had to go to the Vikings.
For sure, but...
And O'Connell will probably fix him, low-key. Watch.
He's only 26.
That's the crazy part, but Clay Helton didn't do much to prepare him for the league.
Jets signed Tyron Smith and Mike Williams, touchdown or turnover.
Touchdown on both accounts. It could go up to $20 million for Tyron Smith if he hits all his incentives.
I would have taken Zach Wilson over Jimmy G if I was the Rams. But go ahead, continue. Sorry.
That's nasty. I'd take Jameis. If I was the Rams, I would have signed Jameis, but the NFC North has all the black backup quarterbacks. So salute to them.
You mean the AFC North?
I mean the AFC North, yeah. So yeah. It's whatchamacallit?
Smith and Williams.
Yeah, so Williams that's a great pickup because Garrett Wilson's there. So Mike Williams is Aaron Rodgers, like he's down there. Who throws a better Hail Mary ball than Aaron Rodgers? Let's be real. So if Mike Williams stays healthy even half the time, Garrett Wilson's going to be open. Mike Williams can get open. You can keep pressure off Breece Hall because they have to respect play action. And if he can stay healthy, because he tore his ACL, if he can come back and look like anything he was before he tore his ACL, then it might be worth it. But Alan Lazard is a total bum.
That's what I was going to say about Alan Lazard.
And Randall Cobb is somehow still on the team. Seriously, all these guys got naked pictures of God or something. It's wild. It doesn't make any sense.
They're just Aaron Rodgers homies.
Amir Abdullah, there's certain guys around the league, they just stick around, and it's like, how are you still employed here? Like, how did Lazard get that deal? It made no sense.
I mean, Amir Abdullah doesn't fuck up, though. Like,
Amir Abdullah,
he's not sorry because they play him and he doesn't make plays. He doesn't make plays. He just doesn't make plays.
He can just return kicks and play special teams. That's why he's still in the
That's
league.
what I mean. But
So,
Alan
yeah.
Lazard gets snaps and doesn't do anything.
He gets
like
snapped.
there's a difference.
He gets
There's
snapped
a difference.
at the snap.
There's a difference. Like,
Yeah. It's wild. It doesn't make sense. But, like, you
there's
traded
a difference
Elijah
between
Moore
being
for
mid
him.
and just being trash. Like, there's a difference.
Being
Like,
so trash that, like, you've elevated the difference between trash and mid. Like, you blurred the line
you're
between
literally
trash
the
and
definition of the difference between trash and mid.
you're trashish. You're middish. You're middish. Like, that's crazy. Like, you're literally now, like, at the crossroads of being trash and mid. Your trip.
I'm sure it's a touchdown too, but I'm sure they'll find a way to sign some ex-Packers still.
I mean,
Just to keep Aaron Rodgers
I was
happy.
going to say ex-Patriots because, you know, Aaron Rodgers might be running for vice president with one of the Kennedy. Like, I'm tired of the Aaron Rodgers story. Like, I'm starting to think his family wasn't wrong.
That's wild.
I'm from the Bay, bro.
Your family was right about you.
Fuck. Let me go hang out with them in Chico. You know what? I knew there was a reason why I liked Vanderbilt and Aaron Rodgers' little brother.
All right. The Saints signed Chase Young to a 1-year deal for $13 million.
Boy,
Touchdown turnover.
did you see? That's a fucking. It's a touchdown because he got a fully guaranteed. But, bro, the picture, the optics is such a turnover. This man had neck surgery. He had a congenial neck issue.
Yeah, so
And no team would sign him because of that. But he got the surgery, got the procedure. This motherfucker signed the contract. They took a picture with him in a fucking neck brace.
That's wild. I didn't see
I
that.
said,
That's
bro,
wild.
you got to look at that shit. I'm like, this man.
Some Jimmy G shit.
Hey, man, Ohio State pass rushers know how to get money. I ain't mad at him. Man took the picture with the neck brace on, got a guaranteed $13 million. Is he the new Clowney?
I think something like that. But I think if it works out and he gets healthy, I feel like that's a good spot for him, for sure.
Still young. And keep losing edge rushers. They ain't been right since Trey Hendrickson. Hayden Wilson is a total bust, but nobody told their dumb asses to take a dude who had a 3rd round grade in the 1st round.
49ers signed Dobbs. Touchdown or turnover.
It was a touchdown. Shout out to like this new wave of black quarterbacks who are just perpetual spot starters and backups. That's how they can't get rid of us, bro. Now can't get rid of us. The white backup QBs are so trash. You have to bring in the black ones. And who better to bring in than a fucking literal rocket scientist? Bro, Josh Dobbs might be out there looking better than Purdy in practice and cause a QB controversy. And I'm here for it. But you know Shanahan's got a really bad history with black quarterbacks. So they'll probably downplay Dobbs slicing up the defense. The Niners are going to implode next year. No way they're winning the Super Bowl, bro.
I feel like we said that, and then they got Christian McCaffrey.
Nobody saw that coming.
I'm just saying.
I said they were going to implode.
My point
After
is,
the Philly loss, I was like, the window's closing.
My point is,
you get to the Super Bowl and lose.
My point is, we've been waiting and plotting on their downfall, and then they do something else that's
their downfalls is cometh. It's at the doorstep.
All right.
They break every mirror in their house.
Bengals signed Trent Brown to a 1-year deal. Touchdown or turnover.
Touchdown is genius. You let Jonah Williams walk. You sign Trent Brown, who's an elite right tackle, and now you have the 2 tallest right tackles in the league. Both slow as shit, even though Trent Brown's probably more athletic. But you got Trent Brown at right tackle. And then you got Orlando Brown, the Brown brothers.
The Brown brothers.
The Brown paper bag boys.
Well, they got to do something.
Brown boys, what you going to do? What you going to do when they come for you?
They had to do something to change that offensive line without dishing out too much cap. So I think it makes sense from that point of view.
And they could still take a tackle. But they should probably take a corner at 18. Or they could take a receiver and trade T. Higgins to the Cardinals. You never know.
Right. Take your tangent. Let me just find the sound.
Bengals made really smart.
Gets accused of sexual assault. He's suing the person suing him for extortion. Take or tangent.
It kind of looks like he's got a one in the landslide because the allegations look pretty frivolous. Like based on information that's come out, it's looking like somewhat of an extortion play.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, the way it's kind of being broached in the media and the public and beat writers and people talking about it, where it's looking like, yeah, you're being hit up for cash right now.
So I've been doing this show long enough to know anything can happen, so I'm just going to let it play itself out. What I will say, though, is why do people keep asking Dak's brother for his opinion? His name's Tad, bro.
And Dak's name is Dakota.
All right, come on. That's all I got to say.
The worst named kids ever.
NFL Competition Committee proposes a ban on hip drop tackles and changes to the kickoff. Take or tangent.
I like the kickoff changes because they're trying. It was like a record low number last year, like 22 returns practically, or some shit like that. But that hip drop thing is just something they made up to like ruin the game of football. There's no such thing as a hip drop tackle. It's never existed. There's never been a. This is like, it's like people who never played the sport are like making up rules for the sport, which is kind of weird. I get the issue of safety, but like, okay, once you do hip drops, you might as well just ban cut blocking.
Pretty much.
If you're gonna ban, if I gotta get dragged, I can't tackle somebody from behind and drop my weight like an anchor to stop their momentum. How else am I supposed to tackle them?
Again, I think the best source, to your point, is people who play the game, and with someone who's played the game to the highest level the longest time says we need to stop worrying about controlling and penalizing the defense. And we need to just kind of let offensive players take care of themselves, as they've been doing since the inception of this game. Tom Brady said that last year. I think we kind of just need to follow that.
But Tom Brady also helped kind of ruin the game, too.
I mean, yeah, but I think
he's the reason why this shit, those dink and dunk passes to his receivers, but when, they had their hands all in the Colts receivers' pockets, robbing them at gunpoint in Foxborough every year in the playoffs.
Fair enough, but he also
he helped issue. He helped cause this problem.
Fair enough, but also the point that I'm saying is every player on the field is responsible for themselves. At the end of the day,
the defense is like, no,
you can't expect everyone to be responsible for everyone, because that's just how mistakes get made, and that just makes it even harder to be safe.
Yep.
Like, you gotta just protect yourself and go full speed. But this whole trying to put an extra second, decision in between stopping a runner is like, it's just gonna make more mistakes happen. Because guess what? Now instead of going for a hip drop, he's just gonna get bucked in the head.
It's against the laws of physics too.
So I don't know. I think
Richard Sherman and
hip
Sean
drops.
Merriman
It's like MMA, bro. Like,
it's not even a
using
real
your
thing.
hips, using your fucking and it's not really a real thing. It's a tackle, bro.
That's like saying, okay, so technically a hip drop tackle, you can a down block is technically a hip drop tackle.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, if you're an offensive lineman, if I really want to give up the secrets, I play in the wing T. Do you know, especially going up against Torrance High School, the fucking Tartars, because they do that. They did that stupid ass single wing or the double wing. Oh God! When the fullback comes down to crash on you, that's pretty much fucking You're getting tackled.
And I will say this:
you're getting that's dirty.
I know everyone's kind of like, oh,
so we gotta handle.
The kickoff. Like, we don't need a ceremonious play. Like, it's not really being used. It's one of the most dangerous things. Fuck all that, man. Kickoff return is still one of the most exciting plays possible in the game of football, period.
It's so hard to score.
It's kickoffs. Fucking Matthew Slater just retired, bro. Kickoffs have been keeping people employed. By the way.
Not a Hall of Famer. Just want to point that out.
Kickoffs have been keeping people employed.
Exactly.
Giving people money. So I think if you just, some point, yeah, maybe they're just going to get rid of the kickoff, but I don't think we're at that point right now.
They're doing XFL rules.
And when they do get rid of the kickoff, at that point, we're just trudging towards 7-on-7 or flag football, just being everything.
I already said it last week. I wrote the headline for it at work. The NFL is literally broadcasting arena football in April and 7-on-7.
Well, they've always done arena football.
No, but they're going to be broadcasting it live on the NFL Network.
They always did that.
Yeah, but for 7-on-7, the on 3 league or whatever.
Yeah.
So now you're gonna have high school kids. There's gonna be more eyes on it.
For sure.
So now they're gonna be doing 7-on-7 at SoFi most likely. People are gonna pay to come see that. How long does it take for you to keep tinkering with something before you change the foundation of what a thing is? You can't keep messing with the foundation of a house, adding bricks underneath it, swapping out the old ones. Eventually, you don't have a foundation for your house anymore. Unless you're going to pick up the house, move, and then redo the whole foundation over again and then put it back. But by that point, you've literally stifled a whole process.
All right. Fair fade. Ronda Rousey. Just talk about that situation, Kenny.
So she called out the WWE for being a fucked up, shitty place, pretty much. And Bruce Pritchard's a stooge. John Laurinaitis is a fucking disgusting pig. He's in that lawsuit. This isn't on the board anymore, so I don't see how they don't, unless Triple H helped orchestrate this takedown, because he's the last one left. And Stephanie's his wife. And Stephanie's daddy's little girl. So there's no way Stephanie, I don't know if he spends time with his grandkids or not, but I don't see how Paul Levesque, because that's his real name, Paul Levesque, not Hunter Hearst Helmsley, not Triple H, not Trips, Paul Levesque. I don't know how Paul Levesque can stand up to, the TKO board and be like, I didn't know anything that was going on with Vince. When you fucked his daughter to get into the family, you worked your way up the ladder. Yes, ever since he took over creative, it's been amazing. And honestly, there are very few people on earth who have played chess better than Paul Levesque. Let me explain it to you. The man has played his cards right. He needs to hold a master class on corporate social climbing. He just needs to. I would be in that Zoom. Him and Kirk Cousins are in the Hall of Fame of just getting it out of the fucking mud. I gotta respect the hustle. You gotta respect the jukes. You got Shawn Michaels in NXT getting every fine ass athletic black woman he can find. Just the whole roster, we were talking about at the Pro Day at USC. I was talking about it with some guys. All these ex-football players now have somewhere to go. They can just go to fucking the WWE. Bro, it's less and less workers. It's less and less. It's more athletes, supreme athletes, Montez Sweat, freak athlete. Ivar, who's 350 pounds with the 36 inches vertical. Again, there's going to be some offensive linemen. They've already had offensive linemen who went into the weight loss program at WWE. They had a former tackle for the University of North Carolina who got fired recently. But they're getting more and more athletes to come there. It's truly I'm pretty sure Shawn Michaels, Triple H, they're all watching they were watching the combine, and they might even send somebody out to a pro day. All I'm saying is WWE, if you create a position where you need a regional scout to find talent, just hire your boy. I'm already covering college football. Let's just make this deal happen. But yeah, Ronda Rousey's pretty much kicking in WWE's back. She's like, I'm not ever going back there. I got all her money. And I will say this, Ronda Rousey, even though she got knocked the fuck out and humbled, very few people made the most of their 15 minutes of fame than Ronda Rousey. Yet again, another person who should be studied. Because you get your ass beat that severely to where you go to wrestling where, you're going to get your body's going to get its ass kicked and the outcome's predetermined, but you're getting a bag. You're getting millions and you're not a full-timer. But she also hated the place and how it was run, and it was gross, and nobody there can speak up and say anything, but she can. She don't care because, she was a high school dropout, homeless, fighting dudes for money at Venice Beach. Ronda Rousey got her shit out the mud. So
that's what we need. We need a Kenny's top 10 got it out the mud.
Excluding me and you. Because obviously, we get our shit out the mud too. But I think that's a new segment. That's a new segment. Yo, this motherfucker got out the mud. I got to do the play-by-play on this.
This is the most positive thing you've said about 3 white people in a row ever.
I know. I thought I was. Am I becoming a better person? Am I becoming? Damn, it's the next iteration of Paul Mooney. But yeah, more lawsuits are coming, and that's why The Rock is there. They're trying to get as far away from Vince as possible. TKO shit is real, but also, Dana White beat the shit out of his wife in public and nothing happened. So,
Lions corner Cameron Sutton cut amidst warrant for domestic violence in Florida. Fair fade. No
comment. I saw it. This is poor taste.
Is it?
This is definitely poor taste. Did you not see what I originally wrote? That was much better.
Nah, I didn't see it. It wasn't on the rundown.
It was definitely on the rundown. I wrote it.
No, it wasn't on the rundown.
It's literally on. Bro, you deleted all of Fair Fade.
Yeah, because the Nickelodeon one is not a fair day.
That's a fade, bro. No, how you not talk about that? Josh Peck got molested by the fucking dude.
So how is that going to be fair? That's obviously a fade.
No, but people are coming at Ned's Declassified Podcast. See, this is why you shouldn't have deleted it. So Ned's Declassified Podcast, they usually drop their episodes once a week. They ain't dropping the shit in a while because the video came out on their live because they've been laughing and they've said it before. Bro, Ned's was the most positive, happy place ever. When nobody can fucking molested on the set, but then a homegirl on the set's like, I pretty much fucked every dude on the show. Like, you were just like, I was running, like, and they would fuck in between takes, and like they're like in middle school, and they were just
okay. So again, how's
like,
that fair, babe?
And then somebody on the set was like, "Yeah, a girl offered me cocaine," and I'm like, "Are you sure? Are you sure Ned's was a safe place? Because it seems like y'all were fucking and doing coke. At least one person was, but no, Nicola. The way they did Amanda Bynes, like, I still got. I'm gonna go back and watch it.
You ain't even seen the documentary. I know you ain't got Max.
I know all the stories though. I knew all the stories. I've been to all the stories. So like now that they put it on wax, they pretty much just put everything on wax, confirmed a lot of shit. But yeah, and then Just Jordan, they're like, "Hey, so why Jordan? Why'd you get your show canceled?" He said, "I ain't give up no ass." But yeah, everybody was laughing.
Anyways, the reason why I put Cameron's son on there because I just think it's fucked up to cut someone before they're proven innocent or guilty.
I mean, it's Florida. You know how hard you got to go to get a domestic violence charge in Florida?
That's crazy that you said that.
That's a getting it out the mud moment. To defeat you ripped defeat from the jaws. You ripped defeat from the fucking the casket of victory. Like the monument of victory, you found defeat in that moment and got popped on domestic violence charges. Whether you did it or not, my brother, you got to be smarter in these situations. It's like Tyreek Hill got in trouble again. Like, fuck, bro.
All right, Netflix coming out with the Receiver Show featuring Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Deebo Samuels,
And George
Kittle. Fair or fade?
They about to air out all their grievances. They about to just unleash the group chat.
Fuck all that. Where's the offensive tackle show? That's the show I want.
This has to...
The center. Give me a center show, bro.
Center guard combo?
Yeah, give me a... No, just center.
No. You
center.
gotta go guards too.
I don't
Some
need
centers
guards
play
too.
guards.
I don't need
Why
guards
not? Damn.
too.
You don't want
Guards could have their own show.
Guards can't have their own show.
Guards could have their own
That
show.
would get fucking... That would go straight to HBO Max. It'd be nudity and drugs everywhere. Guards, come on. Guards are party animals. Am I wrong?
I mean, you know me.
Tackles are politicians. Guards are fucking hitmen.
Centers
and the
are the
center is
glue.
Secret Service.
Center's
the
the
center
glue.
is Secret Service. The center is the person you talk. The center is the person you call on the phone. They're your customer service rep. They're working the phone boards. The guards are out there fucking in those Amazon trucks for 14 hours a day. Whether it's run blocking or it's pass blocking, it's just fucking chaos if you're a guard. And don't get blown up by Aaron Donald. God forbid you get put on skates. You won the rep. You technically won the rep, but nobody cares because that man hit you in the deepest part of your soul pocket.
Zach Martin and Aaron Donald at the Senior Bowl?
Yes. So that man hit you in your soul pocket, but nobody cares. Or you're fucking...
That was probably the greatest Senior Bowl matchup of all time. Zach Martin versus Aaron Donald. Just for a whole week.
I mean, it's one of them. It's up there. Herbert was pretty epic. Herbert was making Candy Golden look like
Yeah,
a
but
fucking star.
I'm saying not in a
Herbert put on a master
one-on-one. I'm
class.
talking about a one-on-one.
Oh, well, yeah, of course, trench-wise. I mean, Devondre Sweat's up there. But that was a one.
Versus who,
Braden
though?
Fisk. Everybody. He went up against. Him and Braden Fisk just did
But I'm
things.
saying both sides. Just two Hall of Famers just starting fucking
It's rare you see that.
a podunk town trying to get their dreams.
They didn't even need to be there.
They
Just showed up to fight in a phone booth.
Pretty much.
Quentin Nelson was like, I'm better than Zach Martin. I don't need to do it. You just know how good I am. And he's proven it. That's crazy work. Like, that's again, shout out to guards.
That's a get it out the mud moment.
Two guys just here fighting just because they love fighting. And they work. They just fucking. I just ended up a first round pick.
You
I
might for real just need your own show, getting out the mud moments on Nickelodeon with Ahmad Rashad, produced by Kenneth Berry.
That's fucking sick. He's like 70 now, bro. Inside the Mud with Kenneth Berry.
Woo.
This is not too personal. No, it'll be personal. See what I did there?
Rants.
Every time you hear,
got a future album to listen to.
Every time, that's true. Every time you say "get it out the mud," everybody who listens to this show, I just gave you a new reason to drink. Because if you got kids, you got plenty of reasons to drink. And if you listen to this and you just need a reason to drink, this show, we got it out the mud today. I'm proud of us. This was a really great show. But yeah, go ahead.
That's it?
No, whatever you were going to say just now.
Your rant.
Oh, my rant? Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, happy with my sugar levels. I definitely got to get back. I got to get stricter about my diet because honestly, the last 2 weeks were I was sinning. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm gonna just pretend like those DoorDash, or I mean those Uber Eats receipts. Gonna pretend like they don't exist the past couple weeks. But like, in my defense, you kind of gotta, when you can get the buy one get one free from a good restaurant, you gotta do it. Buy one get one free teriyaki bowl, you kind of gotta do it. Buy one get one free crunchy chicken tacos from Del Taco, you kind of got to do it. I'm just saying. But anyway, my mom, my sister, my nephew came over this week. My nephew just fills my heart with joy. Actually, my mom got me like a collectibles item. It was like a Michelangelo Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, like on a skateboard toy. Because it was like similar to the one I had as a child that my grandfather gave me. Was like I kept it in the box. I was never gonna open it, just keep it as a collector's item. But then my nephew saw it, and then like I saw the look in his eyes, how he lit up when he saw it, and I just gave it to him. And my mom was mad at me, but I was like, "Mom, look at that." He has the same look on his face I had when like Grandpa gave me a toy. Like, it's his. It's the universe is telling me it's meant to be his. He's gonna enjoy this toy. Like it just feels good to be able to put a smile on a child's face. Like when you earn the trust of a child, like you really should take that shit seriously. Like when like your niece or nephew runs up on you and hugs you, and they're happy to see you. Like, you should really take that as a badge of honor and really be serious in how you approach the world in that regard. Like, sorry to get on all preachy and shit, but, yeah, man, just nephew's my heart. Like, I love that kid. And we were sitting there watching Bluey and shit. Coco Melon, he was in his bag. He just grabbed my iPad and just started going straight to YouTube and just typing in all his favorite videos and shit. I'm like, this kid is smart. He only talk when he need to, but he knows what he's doing. Boy's genius. We really are in like there's like the Indigo kid, the Indigo children. I forget which one, but like the last one, we're in that one. These kids just come out smart as shit. I mean, I'll just say this. These kids come out smart as shit, and we were all worried about them when they were doing the Tide Pod things. But, like, these kids who were eating Tide Pods are nowhere near as bad as these kids out here just having fucking full-on brawls all up and down California. There was one in Newport Beach that was really bad that nobody talked about. They only talked about the one at the Pike. But if you're in Long Beach, you know, fights happen at the Pike all the time. But that was crazy. Like, Delamo, these kids out here not giving a fuck because they see, like, you're telling me to go to college in this economy? With what degree? With what money, sir? The debt ceiling? Like, this is all trash. So these kids are out here just saying, nope, fuck this. I got to respect it. Shout out to the kids out here getting out the mud socially. Just telling the adults, like, we don't fuck with the society that you're giving us. You're giving us shit and you want us to take it, and we're just not going to do it. They out here wearing them fucking puffy coats and it's 97 degrees outside, slides with 2 different color socks. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, that's the Hell Week. That's the Hell Week attire outfit. That's in the middle of the Hell Week. You know it. You remember, Pete. After Hell Week, everybody in the locker room, somebody gets a puffy coat. They're sitting in the corners quietly sobbing to themselves.
Yep.
Remembering how, like, they got their leg mangled on a fucking goal line touchdown because we just had to do extra work at the end of practice because they wanted to compete. The guards are in the bathroom chain smoking cigarettes in the same stall. Because, again, guards are menaces. Just shout out to all you kids out here getting out the mud, but take them fucking puffy jackets off. You're making me uncomfortable. Like, I'd rather see you walk up on me with a ski mask and wear a puffy coat. I'm going to just take you as a threat and knock you out. I'm sorry. And I love the kids. You just heard me talk about my nephew for 5 minutes. But yeah, excited about what's coming. With the draft coverage, definitely going to be fleshing out some more stories. I'm just in a better headspace, in a good headspace. I like where I'm at. I like where things are going right now.
All right, man. Well, I'll just start off my rant by a couple of things we didn't get to in the show. But shout out to Anthony Richardson for helping out that truck driver with the flat tire. Shout out to Jalen Hurts for paying for that high school football player who was killed in the shooting.
Rest in
funeral.
peace.
Rest in peace.
Shout out to Anthony fucking Edwards for out here ruining people's lives, dunking on grown men.
Anyways, this is my time.
Sorry, but he made that man his son. He got it out the mud on that
I
dog.
was trying to have a nice, good moment. Kenny just fucking hijacked. But yeah, so shout out to them. I know Dak did something a few weeks ago too. It's like a lot of these black quarterbacks be doing great things in the community and nobody talks about it. I mean, we seen it with Cam. It's like Cam's been doing this camp for damn near 20 years and no one really talks about it or it goes viral until there's a fight and some hoodery going on. Like, so yeah, I don't know, man, but if Stafford did this sort of thing, if Joe Burrow did these sort of things out in the community, they'd be going viral on TikTok and ESPN would have it on the ticker and all that good stuff. But Anthony Richardson and Jalen Hurts do it and just go about their business and no one talks about it. So shout out to them. All right. Outside of that, man, I had a good week. Got out to Mexico, got some sunshine, some beach, some beers. So overall, a good, refreshing, refilling week. Happy to be back. Happy to get back to it. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Second wave of free agencies pretty much done. Now we're going to see somewhat of a downtime between now and the draft. As you mentioned, just focusing on the draft coverage. Shout out to Nikki. Pretty much in full wedding swing at this moment. She's about
Locked
a
in.
month out.
Locked in.
Shout out to her. And yeah, man, this is Touchdowns and Tangents, your Thursday night spot for NFL takes, topical tangents, concise commentary for the culture. TDs_tangents on Twitter and Instagram. Touchdownsandtangents.com, where you can find this podcast every week. Shout out to your favorite podcast app. Shout out to everyone who fucks with us. We are out. Peace.
Peace.